Red Alert, the Permanent Revolution. November 1923. Adolf Hitler and several other members of the Nazi Party are killed in a putsch, conducted in Munich, Germany. Hermann Göring quickly replaces him as leader of the NSDAP, but the movement is forever weakened by the death of its leader, May 1924. In the wake of Lenin's death, Trotsky and his left opposition seized control of the Communist Party and, by extension, the entire USSR. Stalin's troika is deposed and later deported to Siberia. However, the difficult political situation of the Union results in a seemingly permanent hold on Trotsky's permanent revolution. January 1936. The Great Depression has hit the West hard, and its political problems seem to be the greatest since the end of the First World War. In many democracies, dissatisfied and hungry voters are turning to the Communist Party in record numbers. Meanwhile, a frustrated Winston Churchill tries to convince both his own party and the British public that they must arm for a coming war against the Bolsheviks. 20 years after Europe's bloodless conflict, another one is brewing between the West and the Soviet Union. Now they and the world must prepare for total war. Everyone is on alert. Want to help the test, then feel free to improve the mod. And hello everyone, thank you for joining me in another Hearts of Iron 4 spotlight in a mod called the Red Alert Permanent Revolution. In this mod, it's a completely different scenario because Germany is still democratic, and we have actually a new completely reworked focus tree for first the Soviet Union. So a completely reworked one for the Soviet Union, how we can see. As well, a completely reworked focus tree for the German Republic. I would propose here, let's not talk too much and show too much, let's get straight into the game and see and inspect the focus trees of these two modified nations, and after that wage our battle as the German Republic and see what we can do. I never went democratic, I have to say that. So in this episode I will stay firm to the democratic path. Yes. I want to make a poll if you what ideology you would have liked to see me to take. But as I said, I barely went democratic, so I think it's time to taste the democracy in this game. Therefore, let's let the game launch and get straight into it as the mighty German Republic, which is hit hard by the Versailles restrictions, and also not only by that, and also by the Great Depression. But this shall change with our help. So the Soviet Union is also led by another person, by not by Stalin, by Leon Trotsky. Let's see that. We play as the Red Dawn. Dark times are coming. In the East, the Soviet Union has conducted a military and industrial build-up at a pace shocking to the rest of the world, and seems ready to turn it against her neighbors. Mussolini's Italy continues to embark on daring military adventures, while the Empire of Japan stands poised to attack China in Asia. Almost 20 years have passed since the end of the Great War, and the world has yet again been doused in the gas line. A single spark may be all it takes. So let's see. The Soviet Union is led by Leon Trotsky. That seems to be the same. The German Republic. 18 years after the end of the Great War, Germany has been faced with crisis after crisis, with a crippling economic depression, a military questionable loyalty, and fascist and communist supporters marching in the streets. The Weimar government is on the brink of collapse. Meanwhile, the tiny Reichswehr must deal with threats from Germany's fascist neighbors and the vast Soviet military. Another Weltkrieg is on the horizon. We are democratic, led by the SPD, and we have the German economic crisis on us, the Versailles military restrictions, which restrict us to build any heavy equipment, and also the disjointed government. So, yeah, we are kind of really, well, I'd say fucked as the German Republic. Let's play on regular and without historical air focuses. Although, should we play with or without? Well, let's play with and see how this mod is supposed to be. I am not sure if the mod is tuned for that, but we're gonna find it out right now. First, let's take a look to the Soviet focus tree. The Soviet Union is led by Leon Trotsky. He's a permanent revolutionary. And the Soviet Union has a completely reworked focus tree where the new path is the European escalation. The European escalation, where they are most likely going to wage war against Poland. And the Czechs and Germany, it seems like. While also they can do a united front. So the Soviet Union have an interesting focus tree. Go sure to check it out if you want. While we lay our focus on the German focus tree, we can first boost our industry, navy and military here, as well as passing some acts which will grant us some powers. The interesting path here is to form a central powers. When then I can invite Austria, Hungary, Turkey and Finland. I think I'm going to do that. But first, let's go ahead and revise Versailles. For too long, Germany has labored under humiliating terms imposed by the Entente. Now that Germany has begun to reassert herself, we may have the leverage to see these restrictions lifted. Let's hope so, and let's also get the industry up and running. I am not playing with the extended industry mod if you ask why, because that mod really doesn't make some events fire, so that will be turned off at this point. Let's go ahead and actually build up our industry in where? Let's build it in Westphalen this time, not always in the same province. Let's get more weapons and get unlimited production of destroyers, since how you know we aren't allowed to get any heavier ships, so let's get some light ships. I'm sure the allies won't have any problems with that. Welcome to colored puppets, let's say all, and long live the German Reich. Formed in the aftermath of the First World War, the Weimar Republic is a nation in crisis. Despite a surprising victory by the Social Democratic Party in 1932, Germany's government remains weak and bitterly divided. Control of the country is possible only through sweeping emergency powers granted to an aging President von Hindenburg. Meanwhile, our military has been crippled by the terms of Versailles, and the economy is still recovering from disaster. And both fascist and communist parties are on the rise. Germany will need strong and capable leadership to survive on the gathering storm. Long live the German Reich. You see, we have a crippling manpower and a really crippling army. If the Dutch want to invade us, or even Luxembourg, if Luxembourg wants to invade us, they wouldn't fail, because our manpower is so insanely low. So that's a great problem for us. But how I said, this time I intend to stay on the democratic path. So yes, we'll be the stronghold of democracy in Europe against the communist threats. They're finishing the 5-year plan, so let's see the Soviets. Yet their industry is quite strong. Let's see. German speech to the League of Nations. In a rousing speech before the representatives of the world powers, Otto Welles denounced and vowed to have them amended. Although he stressed a peaceful and diplomatic solution to the limitations, it is clear that Germany is going to resist the limitations of the treaty regardless of what foreign powers do. I'd say let's go ahead and develop our Autobahn next. And yeah, let's see how the elections are going to turn out in our nation. Yeah, the Soviet Union is going a smart path. I'd like to see if they go for the PCDI and for the European escalation, which may result in us going to war against the Soviet Union. Let's see there. I wish to have some fun here, so I may do a second episode. Otherwise, we are cripplingly strong, especially, oh no, death of President von Hindenburg. Reports from the chief medical examiner confirmed the loss of Paul von Hindenburg, the president of the German Reich. In poor health after 11 years as Reich President, he was found dead in his office this morning of an apparent heart attack. Although believed by many to be out of his depth, the popular German war hero served as virtually the only source of stability in the fractured German political environment, frequently using his emergency powers to resolve matters that the Reichstag would or could not. New presidential elections will be held soon, but until then, Chancellor Otto Weiss will serve as the sole source of executive power within the Reich, including the former president's emergency powers. The resulting tension, both in the Reichstag and on the streets, has already reached near explosive levels. Germany will not be the same without von Hindenburg. Let's see, we'll get a new event and we can get a new leader for our party. The 1936 presidential elections. After another unruly debate in the Reichstag, All major parties in Germany have somehow agreed on a date for the presidential elections. Voting will be held exactly 2 months after the death of Pope von Hindenburg, with plans to deploy the Reichswehr to the streets to prevent any disruptive public demonstrations. Although a number of candidates have entered the ring, there are 3 obvious frontrunners. Chancellor and now acting President Otto Wels is running for the Social Democratic Party, promising responsible foreign policy for Germany and a number of reforms to fight the country's lingering unemployment. He is rivaled by Center Party chairman Franz von Papen, a close friend and confidant of the late von Hindenburg. Finally, there's Ernst Thälmann, a leader of the German Communist Party. His rising popularity within Germany, often violent steel marches, and sport of close ties with the Soviet Union has alarmed more conservative enemies within German politics, many of whom fear communist revolution. No matter what's chosen, a ruling Germany will be a challenge. It's maybe, but we will. Okay, let's slow the game down. Let's get our industry thriving first. Thriving, Let's go for a mobile train. The position of Otto of Wels as both chairman and acting president during the presidential elections has given us a unique opportunity. We could use the immunity powers of president to ram some much needed legislation through the Reichstag out of the election. However, the electorate would probably respond poorly to such undemocratic measures. Yeah, let's push the legislation through outside. We need the power. We damn need it. Yeah, let's do the public work plans, I guess. So yeah, we are pushing it through. Now we can use our power and perhaps get someone here. Let's get the captain of industry. Oh, communist street marches. Despite promising a non-violent participation in the upcoming election, the KPD's paramilitary units have been out in force for the past few weeks, staging strikes, rallies, and a number of violent riots. Reports of voter intimidation are increasing. A number of election officials have urged some sort of action against the communists. There's nothing we can do. Call on the army to put down NFSM of Bennett. I think banning would be hard. Let's call on the army and put down the demonstrations. Yeah, that sounds fine. It's like a mix. We are, after all, democratic, and yeah, we don't want to enrage the communists, because a revolution may happen. So let's stay tuned for that. Next thing, let's get the radio running. And yeah, we're just building up our civilian sector, we can see. Which is clearly taking some time, but I can build up the well-developed provinces, so no need to build up the election there. Finally! The 1936 presidential election has come to an end, the results are in. The election was tightly contested, and despite the chaos surrounding the election, turnouts were some of the highest in German history. But who won the election? We could make the Social Democrats win, the Center Party win, or the Communists win. No. The question is, do I want the Social Democrats to win or the Center Party? I'm not sure. Let's say, well, it really doesn't matter, I think. So let's get the Social Democratic candidate. Let's get Otto Wels. Socialism for Germany. It will be. But let's see. Buoyed by a recent upswing in the German economy and promises to smash German unemployment, the presidential election results delivered a major victory for the socialist candidate Otto Wels. Today, he announced the appointment of Wilhelm Gröner, former defense minister, as the new chancellor of Germany. Speculation abounds that the SPD, may try to soften their normal anti-rearmament stance together sport ahead of the upcoming Reichstag elections. Congratulations, Herr President. Now we are led by Wilhelm Gröner. What's that? Communist street riots. Of course the communists have to... Despite receiving a sound thrashing in the presidential elections, it seems that the German Communist Party is not ready to give up yet. Party chairman Ernst Thälmann has called for a round of general strikes to protest the rigged election and demand a recount. We should deploy the army to keep order until things calm down. The army reluctantly takes to the streets. Oh, okay, so our military will get crippled, but that's fine. I can pass the enabling act or do the Reichstag elections. I'd say, no, I want to form the central powers, let's go ahead and pass the enabling acts. Yeah, these are dangerous times, and we simply cannot trust the weak political establishment of Germany to run the country. We will allow the president to rule by decree until the threat of our nation has passed. Yeah, let's get the enabling act going. Wilhelm Gröner will get that. We are still crippled heavily, so let's try to get away from the German depression. Even the French are outnumbering us at this point, and their army is more than a rather joke. That's fine. That's okay for now. Great. The communist street riot stopped, so I can deploy some troops. I get some Gebirgsjäger going in the German nation. Let's get some trains, but I lack the manpower actually, so never mind. Can maybe train, yeah, 2 divisions. That's great. Well, we are a disarmed nation, so that's maybe why. Anyways, it's great to see that the communists they aren't a threat anymore. The SPD is firm ruling the country. There you go. The Enabling Act. In a bid to strengthen our nation and national security, the Reichstag has passed a new set of granting acts, even broader emergency powers, to the Chancellor. You'll not be able to rule a decree without any involvement from the Reichstag. Rest assured, these are only temporary measures. Unless Germany is safe again, it had to be done. Let's see, we can strengthen the Reich. Let's strengthen the Reich, yeah. As the shadow of war passes over our country, every citizen must be ready to fight for Germany. We must instruct the public and the armed forces on the sacrifices that will be needed during mobilization. Yeah, that will greatly cripple the communists. Greatly. Focusing on the German industry clearly. We have to get rid of the economic crisis, get rid of the Versailles military restrictions, and also of the Versailles naval restrictions. That's all a great enemy to us, so yeah. Well, the Soviets, they are going for the PCDI, all it seems like. Okay, that's nice.
Alright.
Let's see, well, what can I do with my army of 100,000? Even if the Polish invaded us, the Polish would greatly win it, because military-wise, they have a, similarly powerful economy than we do. You can see, well, let's build out the well-developed provinces, I guess, of Brandenburg and Franken. Franken first, then Brandenburg. Okay, we strengthen the Reich, that's fine. Let's see, the Red Manants. Let's do the Red Manants, yeah. Interference by the Communist International in the internal affairs of the nations not only endangers the internal peace and social well-being, but is also a menace to the peace of the world. We will ask many of the non-communist countries to sign the pact and make sure that we keep the Red Menace in check. Alright, well, I actually read that we could end up in a civil war as Germany, but it didn't work. I mean, the civil war didn't fire now, so I guess I have done the right decisions to prevent a bloody civil war, which certainly would not have been in our interest. I think there we did a bloody good job. But, yeah, to strengthen our country is, not so easy, especially with the crippling economy we are facing right now. Well, we have 44 civilian factories, but nowhere near the amount that we need. Alright, then let's get... what should we get? Air engineering, perhaps? No. Let's get counter to them. Oh, the Hindenburg disaster. Whatever. Let's see, I can do the treaty with Japan. Or we can, let's form a set of powers. Abandoned by the world after the First World War, Germany must seek about her own destiny. But there's a little chance of doing so without our own allies. Yeah, let's create our own allies. We don't need the normal allies, we need our very own allies. Now let's get anti-tank perhaps. Anti-tank as well. The Spanish Civil War and the nationalists won it. The communists, well, they have strong industry as always, but they're going for the ocean-going navy. Let's see how the fate of the world is going to turn out. Okay, congratulations. Navigating around the globe. Well, the communists are crushed and they're actually led by Wilhelm Pieck, so... Wilhelm Pieck. Poor guy. What are the Soviets doing? Let's see. Defeating the Soviets will trigger a civil war, but in Germany, maybe not. Let's form the Central Powers and then also invade Austria. No greater friend to the German people exists than Austria. We should ask them to join us to join us as allies in European security. Yes, so we won't annex them. Austria will be a vital ally to the German people. We could need the industry and the army more importantly, and having Austria unharmed will serve a great cause and great interest for us. Okay, you can get it from the Americans, I guess, supporting the biggest democracy in the world with even another civilian factory. And okay, we're getting that, but we can get improve our interwar artillery. Okay, I have around 700 political power. Let's get the military staff, army offense, and let's also get here. Let's go and enable limited conscription. There we go. So 200,000 men ready at our demand. I cannot do anything there, but I can get a military theorist. Let's get the Blitzkrieg theorist, Heinz Guderian. That's it. Alright. So we're still building up the tiny German army. I think since my hands are bound, I can't do anything. I think it's depending on the Soviets, a technical conference. In a show of solidarity, Austria has agreed to a military alliance with us. The bonds between our countries could never be tighter. Welcome, Austria. Let's invite Hungary as well. Hungary is an important next step in cementing control of Central Europe. We meet them by our side. They are, I think most likely they'll go fascist. I think, yeah, they're strengthening fascists. Yeah, I shouldn't have taken the historical path. That's just making things expectable, most likely, and they will most likely end in leaving our faction. If they turn fascist, which I think they will. Saying that, let's perhaps get our Air Force, the BF-109, and also the Junker 87 because they're sports, and improve our air doctrine, formation, flying. It's time to perhaps enact something else. Southern workhorse. Do we have armed organizers? Southern workhorse. Oh, the United Kingdom declared war on Iraq. Well, that's interesting that the British declared war on Iraq. Oh, why? That's interesting, really. For whatever reason, the British are fighting the Iraqi. Should I recall him or not? No, our brothers will stay. Yeah, since we aren't fascists. This is a conference. In the show of solidarity, Kingdom of Hungary has agreed to a military alliance with us. The bonds between our countries could never be tighter. Welcome, Hungary. Let's hope that they'll stay. Next, let's go ahead and befriend Turkey. Atatürk's Turkey is on an admirable path towards modernization, and the country controls access to the Black Sea through the Bosphorus and the Dardanelles. Bringing Turkey into our alliance should be our first priority. Also, the Yugoslav request sale of airplanes. I guess I can give them some fighter production, although I'm not really building any planes by my own. So okay. But I'll be glad to help the Yugoslavs in help. Okay, I awarded civil war. Would you have liked to see us fighting each other, or do you think that I've done the good call with awarding the German civil war? Please let me know of your opinion below in the comments. Thank you. Let's get 10 more divisions. Mountaineers mainly. And get even more. Let's get 16 then. Fine. 16. Yes, we have a good supply of everything. Our army will soon reach the 200,000 mark. Yeah, we have 12 standing divisions. That's not really that much. But the British are having some success against Iraq. For whatever reason they are fighting them, I don't know. Do they want to put up the Democrats in charge? The Communists, why? Come on, I want them to go the European escalation. Now I'm just sitting here waiting to the Soviets to do something, but as always they aren't doing anything. Yes. Again, Turkey, welcome to the Central Power. So let's invite Finland now. Finland is in a key strategic position when it comes to constraining the Soviet Union. We should approach them with an offer of alliance. Now let's check the strength of the Central Powers. Okay, yeah, that's quite nice. Central Powers will have a powerful military ready against these Soviet threats. Of course, if the countries do not leave us and just let us stay in line, that we should manage fine. So the next thing we can enact is, yeah, I can finally get partial mobilization. Let's get partial mobilization, and we can build even more factories. That's simply great. Life bombing, I guess. And we have 52 civilian factories. The British have certainly more than we do, and we have a non-existent army still. But we are slowly on a path of improvements, so we can see. Okay, we got the Stukas. That's the next thing. What should we get? So that's out of time. Tank is relatively out of time. Yeah, the Mobile Warfare Doctrine, Elastic Defense. I'm still crippling by the German economic crisis and by the restrictions, so I guess my next move would be to go ahead and do the military status agreements. Yeah. The time for Germany's Finland refused. Great. The time for the delay is over. Unless the Western powers will recognize Germany's rights to a real defense, we may be forced to take drastic action. Okay, let's take drastic action then. The Soviets, why are they going for this tree? They are going for everything else, but not for the path you want to see. That's such a shame, but okay. Oh, what? They did what? Oh, they puppeted Iraq. Great Britain puppeted Iraq. Now they are also members of the Allies. That is more than interesting, to say the least, in that aspect. I think I'll just go and get my industry thriving again. I still have the crippling restrictions, so there's no point of getting our military factories up and running again. But I will get it eventually after these agreements. But for now, we have to wait. I can get here industrial concern running the country, and perhaps France will make the restrictions go away, because they are crippling us. They are bloody crippling us. That's clear and obvious. Okay, let's train more of the mountaineers. 26 divisions. Okay, yes, we need more manpower, so France, please accept. They're going with Britain, the French, it seems like. And let's see, the French will not even consider allowing an expansion of the German army, causing even a limited air armor capability a fundamental threat to the French security. It seems we are limited to rearming in secret or risking war with France. Keep our rearms on the wraps. Germany will rearm openly, or order the army to prepare a little demonstration. Yeah, let's go for the gamble and order the army to prepare a little demonstration. Let's see. Yeah, that sounds nice. The remilitarization of the Rhineland. It is German territory. And the French, and they didn't revolt. That's nice. Okay. Now I can go ahead and let's do the Paris naval talks. The great powers. What? Austria left our faction because they become fascists? What? They are 100% fascist? Is that a joke? Oh, there's a fascist coup in Austria. News agencies across Europe have reported a shocking coup by the Austrian Nazi Party. Public buildings in Vienna have been occupied by the Austrian SR, and Chancellor Schnuschnig has fled to Hungary. The president has already issued a statement calling for the coup plotters to stand down or face overwhelming action from the German Republic. Backing down now could embolden our Nazis as well as Italy, but do we really want to start a war? Yeah, let's mobilize our troops against Austria. We will face the fascist threats. Okay. Our army should be, I think, strong enough to wage war against the Austrians. Let's see if the Italians will get that as well. So, therefore, let's go and get the infantry attack. Our army is ready. Let's deploy these divisions at once to aid us. Despite the fact they are poorly trained, they will be led by Gerd von Rundstedt. They will strike aggressive. 360,000 troops ready to declare war. We declared war on Austria. Deutsche Sozial in Austria. They are fascists, so should we puppet them or annex them? Mobilize for war. What's that? We are now at war. Okay, we got rid of the naval restrictions. That's nice. I can go ahead and get the war rally in us with this. There we go. Now I can puppet Austria. Let's puppet them, fine. Let's puppet them. Let's puppet Austria. Let's reset puppet, which was our focus, and change the government. Okay, there, and let's say it's done. Now it's called the Republic of Austria. Yes, look, we even didn't annex them. They just became our puppet and they even adopted our own color, led by the SDAPÖ. Ruhr Valley industrialization was my plan. As well as to get the MB-46. The Soviets are now going for the European escalation. Well, our army needs some thorough training, so let's tell them to train. Soviet withdrawal. Okay, the Soviets withdrew, it seems like. The Allies are certainly a strong faction, but yeah, the Central Powers are somewhat, well, a counterpart to the overpowered British domination. We won't allow British domination, but we are, well, we cannot go to world expansion because we are democratic, so yeah, my hands are bound. I can't really say I want to do that or that because I cannot. And once more, I want to see the German industry thriving. Alright. Well, I think I'm going to take a cut here, so I'll do a second episode of this, so stay tuned. Otherwise, I'm Sacred, and thank you for watching me. Please go sure to check out my other content as well. And I wish you all a good day and see you next time. Goodbye, stay safe and sound, and take care.